Prologue. The Old Country, 1731. Firelight thrown from a shallow pit clawed across the damp walls of the cave, the rough rock face bleeding shadows. Outside the earthen womb, a great snowstorm raged, howls of bitter wind echoing into the throat of the shelter, joining the screams of the female upon the birthing pallet. "'Tis a male young," she panted atwixt her contracting burden. "A male!" Or her recumbent, straining flesh, looming as a curse upon her, the black dagger brother Harm cared naught for her pain. "We shall learn soon enough." "You will mate me? You promised?" Her words choked off, and her face squeezed into ugliness as her innards contorted to expel his progeny, and as he played witness, Harm reflected how unattractive this aristocrat was in her laboring. She had not been thus when he had first met her and seduced her. Then she had been proper and satin-clad, an appropriate vessel for his legacy with perfumed skin and shining, bouncy hair. Now she was nothing but an animal, sweated and stringy. And why ever was she talking so long? He was so bored by the process, offended, that he had to attend to her. This was the work for females, not a warrior such as himself. But he was not mating her unless he had to. If this was the son he had prayed for, then yes, he would legitimize the young through a proper ceremony and give this female the status she was calling her due. If not, he would walk away and she would say nothing, because in the eyes of her class she was befouled, her purity lost as her field had been plowed. Indeed, Harm had decided it was time for him to settle down. After centuries of debauchery and depravity, his age was setting upon him, and he was considering for the first the legacy he would leave behind. At the current, bastards abounded, fruits of his loins that he knew not of, cared not for, associated never with, and for so long that had been an acceptable byproduct of him being accountable to naught and no one. Now, though, he found himself wanting a proper family tree, and there was also the issue of a number of wagering debts, something this female's father could readily discharge for him. Although, again, if this was not a son, he was not mating her. He was nay crazed, nor willing to whore himself out for pence. Further, there were countless females from the Glymera who coveted the status that came with mating a member of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. Harm would not commit until he had a male offspring, to raise properly from night one. "Oh, do compose yourself," he snapped as she screamed again and his ears rang. "Be silent!" As with all things, however, she defied him. "It's coming! Your son is arriving!" The shift she had on was dragged up to the base of her distended breasts by her twisting, fisted hands. Her stretched and round belly put on a shameless display, her thin and pale thighs spread wide.